and we shall start with almost where we left about 3-4 months back. We had the opportunity of learning through a process of Saiva Sithantham of the basic introductions of 10 classes we have already done. Just to recap, we are able to get our memories back to Padi, Pasu, Pasam, what we have been discussing. And also we were discussing about what is Saiva, Saiva Siddhantam, and the basic books of 12 Tirumurais and 14 Shastras. We were speaking on that. So with the basic introduction of how this philosophy is designed. Now this session in your holidays now, we shall be dealing with the book of from these 14 Shastras, which is Thiruvarutpayan. Good thing about this today, we have some English translations already been done by people. There is one translation by G.U. Pope, who was the person who translated Tirukkural, Tiruvasagam, and some of Tamil books to English. He was in India in somewhere by 1890, 1910 by that time. Was basically a Christian Reverend Father who came to India to preach Christianity, learned Tamil because of for his profession to support. But while learning Tamil and Tamil literature, he was so deeply into that. And actually, he has not done anything about the preaching after that. And he has started learning Tamil literatures and even Saiva literatures. So he actually was a person instrumental in translating English, Tiruvasagam to English. While doing this translation, he has written the experience of Tiruvasagam for the readers can be justified if they know Saiva Siddhantam only. Without knowing Saiva Siddhantam, reading of understanding of Tiruvasagam is not complete, he feels. So for these English people to whom he has taken this Tiruvasagam, he has written an introduction. That introduction is basically about Saiva Siddhantam. So he has felt some of the literary works from the 14 Shastras are to be given as the example while explaining the philosophy. So he has taken Thiruvarutpayan and translated the 100 poems of Thiruvarutpayan into English. That is how we got the translation of Thiruvarutpayan from Tamil to English. One more translation is available, one by Mr. J.M. Nallaswamy Pillai, who was a magistrate when Britishers ruled India. So he has done a translation, not only the translation of the songs, also he has given the commentary in English. Most probably today or tomorrow, let me just send those translations in our group because I have downloaded from net, it's available. And since I have downloaded, I can share it with you. And the poem translation, now we are going to deal it from J.M. Nallaswamy Pillai's translation. Coming back to this book, Thiruvarutpayan, we know it is one of the 14 Shastras, what we have given as a basic Saiva literature. This is written by Sri Umapati Shivacharya. Mr. Umapati Shivacharya has written 8 Shastras out of the 14 Shastras. Out of the total 14, 8 are done by Umapati Shiva. Apart from these 8 Shastras, he has written some other books also. We know Sheklar Swamigal, who has done the Periya Puranam, which gives the life history of Thirungnana Sambandar, Thirunavukarasar, Sundaramurti Swamigal, and all the other Nayanmars. Those are all the Nayanmars given in the list by Sundaramurti Swamigal in his Tiruttonda Togai. Sheklar Swamigal has given their life history in a very detailed way, which means this book has around 4,200 songs. Mr. Umapati Shivam has written the life history of Sheklar Swamigal. Since Sheklar has given the life history of all the other Nayanmars, he has given the life history of Sheklar Swamigal, the book called as Sheklar Puranam. And also he has written a book about our Chidambaram temple, so which is called as Koyil Puranam. Of this Thiruvarutpayan, there are 10 headings. He has collected some Thevaram songs which are related to these 10 topics, about 99 songs. He has collected and given us a collection which is called Thevara Arulmurai Thirattu. Apart from this, he has done some books in Sanskrit also. One major book is, he has written a big commentary about the Baushkara Ahama. So it's a very detailed and a very big commentary about the Baushkara Ahama. In Tamil, we call it as Bhashyam, Baushkara Ahama Bhashyam. And about the deity at Chidambaram, Lord Nadaraja, we know is Kunjita Padam, which means the foot we have kept like this, or in Tamil we call it as Thukiya Thiruvadi, because he has 2 legs, one is landed, one is on the raised portion. And that raised portion, that leg, that foot is the one we worship. It is a divine grace, Arul, we call it. Especially about that Kunjita Padam, he has written a book on Sanskrit which is called Nadana Kunjidangristavam. So a lot of books he has done. That's one of the reasons G.U. Pope on his translation work writes about Umapati Shivacharya as the ablest of Saiva school men, Sri Umapati. That's how he quotes. So it's a basic introduction about Umapati Shivam. He lived somewhere in 14th century and he was staying near Chidambaram, a place called Kotravankudi. He is more or less a part of Chidambaram. And he was working as a priest, that's a Tirshidar, Chidambaram temple Tirshidar. That was his profession. This is how a small introduction about Umapati Shiva. Of these 8 books, what we are going to discuss, this Thiruvarutpayan, many have given commentaries on this book. Many people have given. The oldest or the earlier ones, what we call, there is one called Sindhanai Urai, where the author is still unknown. But he has written some maybe 100, 200 years back, but we are not able to find out. Thank God the book is available, but the author is not known. That is called Sindhanai Urai. And one more of that type was done by Niramba Alahiya Desihar. He has written a commentary. One more of that period was done by Velappa Pandaram. So these 3 are considered to be of the old age. Sindhanai Urai, Niramba Alahiya Desihar Urai, and Velappa Pandaram Urai, all these three commentaries. Now in our period, which means in the last 30, 40 years, many have written, and the books are available, all these books. Dr. Anandarajan from Madurai University, he has given a detailed description about some 250 pages he has written about this book. Dr. Chenniyappan has written. Dr. Vayyapuri has written. Dr. Sundaramurthy has written. The Kanchipuram, there is an Adinam called Tondai Mandala Adinam, Mutt. The 229th Pontiff, Guru Maha Sannidhanam of Tondai Mandala Adinam. He has given a commentary. From Tirunelveli, one Mr. Sisu Mani, he has given. So, lot, even and some maybe there still furthermore, which I have not come across, which means lot of commentaries are there. Generally, there is a tradition. When we study a book, we actually have to say our prayers to the author as well as the people who have done the commentaries. Because for a learner like us, if the commentaries are not there, we could not really cherish the values of the book fully. So with the pure kindness, they have given an elaborate and the inner meanings, how the author has approached it. All these details are given to us by the kindness of these commentators. So we worship them also now. How this book is done, which means the setup, the book setup is, it has actually 100 poems. Apart from this, one for the Lord Ganesha. We call it as a Kapuchayul in the beginning. So always we start our worship, we start our work with a prayer for Lord Ganesha. He has done that. So there is one for Lord Ganesha, which is called Kapuchayul. Then he has given 100 poems of that. These poems are all just 2 lines each. We would have come across the book called Tirukkural in Tamil. There's a Kural, which means normally 4 words in the first line and 3 words in the second line. That's it. That's the one song. In Tamil grammar, we call it as Kural Venba. Normally, Venba will be of 4 lines. This Kural will be with only 2 lines. All the 100 songs are like that. So very small poems. So easy to get memorized with that. Just I'm saying. Narkunjarakandu Nannil Kalangyanam Karkum Charakandrakan. That's it. One poem is over. Like that, it is very simple. It is like people rate this book as something continuation to Tirukkural. Because Tirukkural, you would have heard of it or studied. There are 3 big topics, Aram, Porul, Inbam. The last one, which is Arul, or about the spirituality, Thiruvalluvar has not given a separate topic for that. Even though this subject is covered, he has not given a separate subject out of it. This Thiruvarutpayan fills up that place. So Aram, Porul, Inbam with the Tirukkural, followed by Veedu. There is a 4 stages. Aram, Porul, Inbam, Veedu. So that Veedu or the spiritual science that is being dealt by Umapati Shiva. How this book has been formed or why he has written. Nirambalahiya Desiyar has written in his commentary. This Agamas is a very big ocean. The entire Agamas is around 28 Saiva Agamas, and apart from that, some sub-Agamas, that's Uba Agamas, more than 200 are there. So Agamas is so big. So he says these agamas is like a big ocean. To cross the ocean, you need a ship. You cannot just swim across. So there is a book called Sivaprahasam, written by Umapati Shivacharya. That can be considered as a ship to swim on this ocean of agamas. For that Sivaprahasam or that ship, always a captain is required to navigate the ship. So he says, Thiruvarutpayan is the navigator, which means for understanding the depth of agamas, we need to learn Sivaprahasam. To understand Sivaprahasam, we should learn Thiruvarutpayan, which means at the beginning level. So Thiruvarutpayan gives a complete understanding of the basic or the fundamentals of Saiva Sithantham. The big advantage of this book is the Tamil which is used there, as well as the Saiva Siddhanta terms used there are very simple. So there is a tradition prevailing. Anybody who has interest in studying Saiva Siddhantam, of these 14 Shastras, the first one to start with is Thiruvarutpayan. There is one more tradition. It says the first one to start with is Unmai Vilakkam. So you know about the 14 Shastras, earlier we have spoken. So there is one more called Unmai Vilakkam. One tradition says you have to start with Unmai Vilakkam and study the further. One tradition says you start with the Thiruvarutpayan and study further. There are specific reasons for this. Why people say Thiruvarutpayan to start with? It is something like a Tirukural, or it is something like a dictionary, it works. The topics of Saiva Siddhanta are classified as 10 topics by this author. And all these 10 topics, he has given 10 poems for each topic, so 100 songs. So you have some doubt about this Anava Mala, where we have spoken earlier. We call it as vanity or ego. Some doubt about it. You can take this. There is a heading called Irul Mala Nilai, or which speaks about the darkness or the Anava Mala. You can get it across. You have some doubt about the final mukti or the moksha. Here it is. There is a topic. In Tamil we call it as Inburu Nilai, or it is in English it is translated as the nature of supreme bliss. So if just we can go through that within the 10 songs, what are our doubts, it will get cleared. And also there is no complication, no complexity. It is such a simple book to learn. So any beginner will get the trust or the confidence that Saiva Siddhantam can be easily understood once he reads through Thiruvarutpayan. Now there is one actually Lord Ganesha prayer. After that there are 10 topics. What are those 10 topics? The first one says about the Almighty or the God. In Tamil it is written as Padi Mudu Nilai. Padi means actually God. So Padi Mudu Nilai. Whereas J. M. Nallaswamy Pillai is translating it as the nature of Supreme. Supreme is God actually. So the first topic is taking it as nature of Supreme. The second heading is about the Pasu or the soul. So it is called as Uyir Avai Nilai. It speaks about the Uyir or the Pasu. Here this translator says it as nature of the soul. First one is nature of supreme. Second one is the nature of soul. The third topic or third heading speaks about Irul Mala Nilai. Malam we know, which is Anavamla or the Pasam. He says the nature of Pasa or darkness, because Anava, we call it as darkness, because it hides the soul's brain. It is called as darkness. Whereas God is taken or transformed as light, Anamala is normally spoken as darkness, which are totally against each other. So first one is Lord, which means supreme. Next one is soul. Third one is nature of Pasa or the darkness. Then the fourth one says, that is actually fourth one is the heart of this book. The fourth topic, nature of divine grace. That is the Arul, is divine grace. So the topic says in Tamil, Aruladu Nilai. The book speaks, the book name itself is called Thiruvarutpayan, which means Payan means benefits, the benefit of divine grace. That's what the book says. So the fourth topic says Aruladu Nilai, which is the nature of divine grace. The fifth topic says in Tamil Arul Uru Nilai, which means how this divine grace is being shown on us. So it says, Lord comes as a guru and gives. So we are getting Diksha. Diksha is given by a guru, which is actually the God sits with the guru and gives it. So Diksha is given by God. That's how we speak. So God comes for people like us, comes like a man in our own form and actually teaches. So that's how it's being spoken on the fifth topic, that is the nature of the divine guru. In Tamil, it's called Arul Uru Nilai. Uru means actually the body or the shape, what we get it. So Arul Uru Nilai, which is written here as the nature of divine guru. What he does, this guru. So he teaches. So as a student, as a soul, we are learning it. So the next topic speaks about that. In Tamil, we call it as Ariyum Neri, which means what we are learning. J.M. Nallaswami Pillai has translated that as light on the path. Actually, we are on the path towards moksha. We are on a spiritual path. So there is a light, because all along we have been with the darkness, Anava. So God is trying to pull away from us from the darkness. So a small light is shown now. That is a light on the path. That's how the sixth topic. So when we learn this, what it happens? Some changes occur. Because when we learn means here, we realize. So there is one darkness or the Anava sitting with us, which is basically responsible for all the wrong deeds we are doing today. So better to get out of it. So where to go with? That's the Almighty and the God. So how to go with Him? How to get away from this? These are all being done on the light on the path. And once we do this, we practice, and that actually the soul is getting into a better shape, or it's getting into the light part from the darkness. So the maturity of the soul happens. That is the seventh topic, which says Atma Prakasa. Atma means Atma, that is the soul. Prakasha, which means lightening. Light on the path, that is the previous topic, which gives. So once we receive the light, actually we are getting enlightened. It's being enlightened. That's how it is. It's not complete, but we are on the path. So Atma Prakasha. In Tamil, it is called as Uyir Vilakkam. Once we get into that, the ultimate goal of moksha or the mukti we are into that the next step. That is discussed on the 8th topic. In Tamil, we call it as Inburu Nilai. Inburu. It means it is always going to be happy moments after that. Because the thing which has given all the wrong deeds, making us to experience some bad or sorrow feelings, the Anavamala, God has actually taken away us from that Anavamala. Now Anavamala will not function or show its power on us. So now we are associated fully with the God. Even now we are associated. But in spite of having Anavamalam, we are doing that. Now the Anavamalam's power is switched off or almost nil, so that we will be enjoying God's light throughout. So that's always going to be happy moments. That is being discussed in the 8th topic, which is called Inburu Nilai. Here it is called as nature of supreme bliss. That's how it is. The 9th topic speaks about the Panjakshara, which means Namashivaya or Shivaya Nama. That's the 5 letters. We call it as Panjaksharam in Tamil. Aindeluthu, we call it as. That is our sadhana, which means even today, till we attain moksha, even after we attain moksha, we are supposed to do some practice, which means to get associated with the God. We are supposed to do the practice. The practice is nothing but chanting Panjakshara. We need to chant or we need to sing these Tirumurai songs. We need to actually wear Rudraksha. We need to have, we call it as Thennadu. So these are all the things who is trying to learn singing. He has to practice. So his voice, he has to set it right. They call it a sadhana, which means they repeatedly do. So once their voice will come under control, they can better sing. Same way, we are on the spiritual path. We are supposed to do this sadhana. Sadhana is nothing but practice. How it is being guided by our gurus, we are supposed to do the practice. After taking this diksha, we do anushtanam. It is a practice. This practice is highly required because the Anavamala, actually the bad element which has been associated with us so far, is still alive and it will be always alive. So once we stop this practice, there is every chance that Anavamala will start attacking us again. So to keep away from the attack of Anavamala, we are supposed to continue this practice so that we will be getting associated with the Supreme, which is the God. So that's one of those practice tools is Namashivaya or Shivaya, what is called as Panjakshara. So the Tamil topic says Aindeluthu Arul Nilai, which means Aindeluthu means Panjaksharam. Nama Shivaya. Right. Here that's what he says. The truth of Panjakshara. That's what he says. See, generally, people used to ask a doubt here. Panjakshara takes us to Mukti or the Moksha. On the 8th topic itself, he said the nature of supreme bliss, which is a Moksha. So already achieved. Then now why this Panjakshara is brought here as 9th means, let us have that clarity. Even after attaining Mukti or the Moksha, we are supposed to do this practice of having Panjakshara with us. So that's the reason, Umapati Shivam, After saying about the divine bliss on the 8th topic, 9th topic, he says the truth of Panchakshara. The last one, the 10th topic, speaks about the souls who have attained this moksha. How will be they? Who are they? So all our practice is to get this moksha. We will get one day. When? We don't know, but we are on the path. We wanted to know about the souls who have already achieved this. Anyway, normally, see, whenever we are on a practice for achieving something, we will be always interested to know about the people who have already achieved it. That's quite natural. And that gives us a lot of trust and motivation on this process. We want to climb Everest. If we have an opportunity to meet somebody who has already climbed Everest, then it gives us some motivation. Hey, Papa, a man at 50 years has climbed up. Why not me at 20? It gives a motivation. And also he has said, I have come this way. So we can be knowing about the difficulties or the better points of the travel. So it will help us in the travel process. So that last topic speaks about the souls who have attained those position. That's the mukti or the moksha. So in Tamil we call it as Sivan Muttargal Jivan. So the topic is called as Anaindor Tanmai, which means soul has embraced, God has embraced the souls. So it's called as Anaindor Tanmai in Tamil. Here J.M. Nalliswamy translates as the nature of the sanctified or Jivan Mukta. Because as long as we are associated with the Anavamala, there is no sanity. So here is the position of Mukti means Anavamala's powers are switched off. They don't have any impact. This Anavamala doesn't have any impact on us. So we are getting, in fact, sanctified. We are into the sanctum sanctorum of God. So we are able to get His powers now. So our experience is completely connected with the divine grace. So there is no ill feelings, no sorry figures, no sorrow feelings, everything is there. And that is an ultimate aim or the goal for all the souls. However we practice or not, the kindness with God, that is His divine grace, is He helps every soul to achieve this position. How faster it's going to happen is with how souls take it seriously and cooperates in that process, or gets interested into that and getting into that process. That's it. But God is one, He has a kindness, other thing, He has the power. So in such a way, all the souls are assured of a birth under His feet, which means everyone is going to achieve that supreme bliss, no doubt about it. But when it is going to happen, how long it's going to take, that all depends on how much interest we are paying for this, how much we are into this practice, that the sadhana. So an undivided attention and the being given on this sadhana, it's the earliest way we reach there. So here he says about the souls who already reached, about that he is speaking. That is the nature of sanctified or Jivan Muktas. They are called the Jivan Muktas. They will be here in this world itself with this body till this birth is over. Then they will not come for a birth, they will go. So as long as they are here, they are called as Jivan Muktas. So these 10 topics, Umapati Shivam speaks. Once again, I'll just go through these 10 topics. If not, you have written, you can go through that. Nature of Supreme, number 1. Nature of the soul. Nature of Vasa or darkness. Nature of divine grace. Nature of the divine Guru. Light on the path. Atma Prakasha. The nature of supreme bliss. The truth of Panjakshara. And finally, the nature of the sanctified or Jivan Muktas. That's all. Umapati Shivam allocates 10 kural, which means 10 poems on each topic. First on the nature of Supreme, then nature of the soul. Like that he goes. Every question is answered by him in a very simple way. What are the questions which normally arises when we learn? He answers here in a very simple way, as I told you. Language is also simple. The philosophy, the way in which he presents is also simple, and absolutely no complication anywhere. So we can easily understand. That's how it is being done. Now let us just start looking into that. The first one, which is about Lord Ganesha or the Vinayaka, says. In Tamil it is Narkunjara Kandru Nannil Kalangyanam Karkum Sarakandru Kon. Narkunjara Kandru Nannil Kalangyanam Karkum Sarakandru Kon. Which means, first let me explain you how it is being done. Kunjaram means it is the elephant. So we know Vinayaka is with that drum, which is an elephant-faced god. We know that. He speaks Narkunjarakandu, which means Lord Vinayaka or Ganesha. For the people who praise him, he helps in such a way. Kalangyanam Karkum Sarakandragan means no need to learn things, it will be given as a blessing. When we learn, when we worship Lord Ganesha, all the arts and science and these Siddhanta, no need to learn. He gives you, which means that doesn't mean we can close out the books, we'll wait for Lord Ganesha. No. Here is this poem says no need to learn, which means no need to suffer or no need to make a big impact and learn. No. You just learn it simply, it comes with these blessings. That's how it is. Because we know sometimes when we memorize a song, some song, Kadalahi Kasindu Kannir Malhi Oduvaardamai Nannari Kripa, we are memorizing it. What it happens? Sometimes, especially with children like you, within some 2-3 hours, you will memorize a song. It may happen. Even for you, sometime, it takes 1 day or 2 days to memorize. What it happens? Yesterday's your brain power is today is different. No, it's not like that. Maybe we can correlate. The concentration yesterday I was giving was much more. Today I am not able to concentrate. True. But why we are not able to concentrate today? How we were able to concentrate yesterday? These are all simple being answered. It's all God's blessings. We are able to memorize it. We are able to understand things, grasp things faster. This all comes purely with the blessings of Lord. There is a classroom, 40 people are there or 30 people are there. The professor or the teacher delivers it. He teaches mathematics. A plus b whole square is equal to a square plus b square. Something, whatever it is. For all the 40 or the 30, he is giving it in the same language, same speed. That's not only once he gives. But what it happens? Some 20 people are able to take it much faster. Some 10 people have small doubts again, they're finding it a little bit. Another 10 finding it very much difficult to learn this. It happens, even though the teacher is common and giving it. Same way, when we learn Shastras or any art, whatever, not only Shastra, any art, you take drawing or you, whatever it is, you learn practicing cricket today. So that happens with Lord's blessings. That's how he says, let us worship Ganesha, who actually blesses us. If his blessing is fully available, the song says no need to learn, which means no need to suffer. Easily you can grasp. Narkunjarakandu nannil. Nannil means if he wishes you. Kalaignanam, jnana means whatever. Today we wish to learn. Karkum sarak andre. No need to learn about this. Which means no need to learn it with a difficulty. In a very simple form, you will get it. J.M. Nallaswami Pillai translates this. For one who worships Ganesha, the arts and philosophies are not things which he need labor to learn, which means he says the arts and philosophies are not things which he need to learn. He doesn't say like that. Which he need labor to learn, which means doesn't come with the difficulty. Last 3 days I'm memorizing this song. No, I just go through. I was trying. As to 1 hour, I'm able to get it very fast. And the understanding also, the Shastra, it was, I'm able to understand the philosophy began quickly. Even it applies in science, applies in your history, wherever it is, whatever you learn. If there is a God's blessing, that process makes you simple and easy. That's how he says. Which means if there is God's wish with you, how to get this God's wish? Pray. So once we'll pray God and start doing anything, that actually He guides us. So it is being simply taken forward. That's how this Kapuchayul. Kapuchayul means about on the Lord Ganesha, the song that is being done. In general, normally all the authors, while taking the assignment of writing a book, first they worship Lord Ganesha, so that seeking his blessings. So the process of writing the book can be completed without much difficulty. Seklar says on the Periya Puranam, he writes it. Edukkum makkadai indamil seyulai nadakkum menmai namakku arul seidida தடக்கை ஐந்துடை தாழ் செவி நீள்முடி கடக்களிற்றை கருத்துள் இருத்துவாம். He says that elephant faced God, I just keep him in my chest and praying, which means let him take care. That's how he says. The same author on Shiva Prahasam, again he writes, here he has written Narkunjarakandu Nannil. When he writes Shiva Prahasam, he says, ஒளியான திருமேனி உமிழ்தான மிகமேவு களியார வரும் ஆனை கடல். ஆனை means elephant. ஆனை கடல் நாளும் மறவாமல், which means every day without forgetting him. நாளும் மறவாமல் அழியாளும் மலர்தூவும், one who worships with the flowers. அழியாளும் மலர்தூவும் வலிதாய வினை கூட நினையாவே. We have already learnt about this karma, this vinay. that will not attack, even if there is some bad experience or to be there to experience. No, that will not come to us. That's what he says, which means we need to worship. So the teaching for us as students, I am also a student, everyone is a student. Now for Thiruvarutpayan, for the Umapati Shivam is a teacher. We all are students. For his advice is, whenever we start learning about Thiruvarutpayan, first let us say, let us worship Lord Ganesha. Narkunjara Kandu Nannil, Kalangyanam Karkum Sarakandu Kan. First let us worship. Even on the 3rd class, 4th class, 7th class, maybe even after 1 year, when you take some doubts, when you want to read about Thiruvarutpayan, first thing to do is worship Lord Ganesha. Then you get into that. That is a practice. Whichever book you learn. Even tomorrow you are going to learn Sivanyana Bodha, maybe down the line 1 year. We have to take Kallal Nidal, Malai Villar Aruliya, Pollar Enemala, Nallar Punayvare. That's a song there. Let us see priorities. So let us have the practice of worshipping Lord Ganesha, who will bless us in the process, so that making our path easy and simple. So now we have done that. Now we are getting into the first heading, which is the nature of Supreme, which speaks about the Almighty or the Lord Shiva, let us say. So in Tamil, the topic is given as Padi Mudu Nilai. This Padi means God. He speaks about the God. Saiva philosophy is very clear in saying there is only one as God, Lord Shiva. Souls, so many souls are here. Even in the discussion now, 5 people are there, which means 5 souls are there. Whereas 5 or 5 lakhs or 5 crores, 5 billions of souls, let it be. But God is only one. So Padi Mudanilai. Here we are going to speak it about the nature of Supreme. The first song says, Agara Uyirbol Arivahi Yengum Nigaril Irai Nirkum Niraindu. Agara Uyirbol means he is trying, Umapati Shivam is teaching us about God, because the Saiva Sithantham we are learning now. So who is God? How is he? What is his shape? What is his color? What is his relation with us? Everything is there. A lot of questions are there because I have not seen God. I have only heard of it. And somebody may start learning this Saiva even without hearing that this one object called God. May not be. Maybe or may not be. So he just starts with the very elementarily starts. He is trying to introduce God to us by saying it is like the letter A in Tamil language, or let us have it as A in English, the first letter. So he says Ahara, Aharam means A. Ahara, Uyir Pol. Uyir means, in Tamil language you might be knowing, there are Uyir Eluttukal. A, E, E, U, U. These are all like that. So the first letter starts with A. He is quoting a lot with an example. It is like A. Why he is quoting that example, or how it's to be connected means, A is the one of the first syllable of the language. That is the primary one, right? So God is the primary one to start with any process. So he says like A. After that he says, he is comparing with A and trying to establish the supremacy part. He is trying to establish, is helping us to learn. When we say A, we are able to understand the complete language study or the first letter itself A. So E is the prime number 1. So I am able to understand for the supremacy. But the next he puts what are all not available with A but available with God, he makes us to understand. Letter A doesn't have brain. It's only a letter. So you should not think like A means God is also like A doesn't have brain. No. So in the poem he says, first Agara Uyirbol, Arivahi. Arivahi means he has that brain. In our introduction we said, God is the supreme, actually the brain. Souls also have brain. Only this Pasa doesn't have the brain. That's we already learned. So Arivahi. Then he says, Yengum Nigaril Irai. Nigar means something to compare with. So he is as tall as this man. A comparison we are able to. Or he is taller than this person. There is a comparison. His marks are better than this. A comparison. God is incomparable. I can't compare any of his qualities because you can't say anything about him because he is such a supreme. He says, Nigar il irai, which means, Nigar means comparison. No one in the universe is able to get compared with the Lord. So, Nigaril, which means he is number one. Nigaril irai nirkum yengum niraindu, which means is directly available on some of the Amma. Yes, A is there. But you say some other word, Appa, yes, A is there. When you say Tata, where is A? It is not there. Which means in some words A is there, some words A is not there. Like that, so God may be available in some areas and he may not be available in some areas. No. He is available in Yengum Niraindu. So he is available throughout this universe and even some place we don't know apart from the universe also there. So he is there. He is totally in complete form. He is available anywhere. So that's what it is. But why he says about A as a speciality, it is not only the first letter, any word you pronounce. A may not be directly there, but A is inbuilt there. How you know? Your mouth, you are keeping your mouth like this. To speak something, to some word to utter. When you open your mouth itself, it becomes A. So it's a speciality of that letter. Even a word, now we are saying something as Ilangai. There is no A there. But when we say Ilangai, when we say open, with the A pronounced, it comes in. So like that for all our deeds, knowingly or unknowingly, whether we experience or we realize or we don't realize, God is there with it. That's the reason he has put A as the thing. Agara Uyirbol, Arivahi, Yengum Nigaril Irai Nirkum Niraindu. This is how in the Tamil, J.M. Nallaswami Pillai has translated. Like the vowel A. Wisdom's self. A says God has wisdom. Wisdom's self. The match, like the letter A, the incomparable Lord, which means it cannot be compared with anyone. Nigaril irai. No one is able to get compared with the Lord. No. So like the letter A, the incomparable Lord is all intelligence and pervades everything without change. He pervades everything, means he is into everything. That is his supremacy. You can't find a place today, this doesn't come under God's control. No. You can't have any action of you that, sir, God has no business, I am doing. No, it cannot be. Sir, God may not be knowing this, sir. I don't know whether he is aware of it. No, it cannot be like that. He is there. He is into it, everything. And he is all intelligence. Nothing can be compared with him. Even though it's like letter A, for some parts is like A, because being the first and being when you open itself, which means for all the actions is that. Apart from that, he is intelligent. That's what he says. Like the letter A, the incomparable Lord is all intelligence and pervades everything without change. G.U. Pope translates here the same way. Like the vowel A, wisdom's self, he says the matchless king, which means matchless king means incomparable. So he says the matchless king, he says about Lord. Everywhere abides, is there, everywhere abides, and all things fills, which means he is filled up into everything. Nothing can be seen. You can't find an object which doesn't have God's association. You cannot say. You can't have an action which doesn't have God's interference. No, nothing is there. He is into that everything. That's how he says. So, G. Pope translation, just for this I am telling you, because in our class we will go with the J.M. Nallaswamy, because one author we will go. Just out of interest, one or two areas, I'll show how G. Pope also in translating. And that's also available in the net. We can go through. But comparatively, J.M. Nallaswamy Pillai's translation is little simpler than G. Pope's. Maybe Nallaswamy Pillai, being a Tamilian, taking English as his foreign language. So I think it is a little simple. G. Pope is himself from UK. So his language is a little tough. He says incomparable Lord. That's how J.M. Nallaswamy Pillai says. G. Pope says the matchless king. He says like that. So once again I read, Agara uyirpol arivagi engum nigaril irai nirkum niraindu. That's the first song. J.M. Nallaswamy Pillai says, like the letter A, the incomparable Lord is all intelligence and pervades everything without change. So today we have just given an introduction of Thiruvarutpayan, about the author Umapati Shivam, about the commentators who have written notes on this one, about the people who have translated into English, and some more translations may also be there, I don't know, let us check for it, but these two are available. And the book setup is with a copy chayu. That's a prayer on Ganesha, and 10 topics. We have spoken about the 10 topics, and each topic has 10 poems. So one on Ganesha and another 10 into 10, 100. So 101 in totality of poems are there. All of this Kural Venba, which means I have just 2 lines. So in fact, first line is full, second line is only 3/4 of it. That's how it is. All the songs are like that. It's very simple language, as well as the philosophy presentation is also done in a very simple form by Umapati Shivam, so that the beginners can understand it easily about this Saiva philosophy. So with this, we shall close our session today.